Good morning, class. This second video is about the guitar itself, physically. Now again, I said I have steel strings where you have nylon strings, and the nylon strings are better for beginners because over the course of time you will develop calluses on the tips of your fingers. A steel string to start with would be rather painful, I think, just like starting on a steel guitar, an electric guitar with steel strings. So the nylon kind of warms your fingers up to playing chords. So again, here we have what they call is the headstock, this whole piece on the top. These are tuning pegs. You're turning them in either direction, whether something is sharp or flat, and I'll explain that in detail. But it changes the tune of the string. If you over tighten it, the string will snap and you'll be replacing a string. But also strings wear out. So that said, over the course of this course, over a year, if you're with that same guitar, there's a good chance we're going to have to replace some of the strings, especially the skinniest one or the thinnest one, the E string. So that said, okay, here's the neck of the guitar all the way down. These lines are called frets, and that helps us decide where to play a specific chord, right? Because there are chords and there are notes, and there's a lot of confusion because we have an E chord and an E string and an E note. All right. Okay, now, since I'm right-handed, all right, I would say that this string, the one nearest my face, is an E, and that's the low E, followed by an A, and a D, and a G, and a B, and an E. All right. There will be an attachment in Google Classroom for you to remember the acronym EADGBE, something about somebody blowing up with dynamite or something like that. But I put it on there so that you would be able to memorize it so you'd remember. Okay. You'll see this is the sound hole. Okay. And obviously this is the body. Yours is light colored, mine happens to be black. All right. Down here, this is this little thing that raises up the strings, and these pins hold the strings in place. All right. So when it's time to change those strings, yours might be a little different. Yours might not have pins. Yours might come out from the bottom, so you'll be feeding the string up and through. Okay, this is a pick guard. All right, so because I'm right-handed, I would strum this way. And the pick that I talked about in the other video, all right, might scratch the body, so they put a pick guard. Some guitars don't have them. That means that they can be reversed. So they can be just by restringing it in another direction. You could have right-handed or left-handed. And again, if you're right-handed, for the most part, you're going to strum with your right hand and you're going to play chords with your left hand. All right. I mentioned before that I would show you how the capo works. So here's the one type. You just squeeze it. I like to put it on in this direction. I noticed that some musicians do the opposite way. That feels kind of uncomfortable to me, putting it on in this direction, right? So, but it's your choice, all right? So that's the way I normally put it on, and that simply actually just changes the key of the guitar. So there are times when a song you might pick and download might say capo 2. So you would have to play, or not have to, but you'd play with the capo on, all right, so that you'd play that specific group of chords with this in place. The other capo is just as easy. If you look, there's a little rubber thing here. All right, it's a tube with a steel pin inside. So all you have to do is put that down and then hold it with your finger and pull this strap nice and tight, okay, and you have the same effect. And again, that's what I kind of grew up with as far as capos go. All right, so I'll just give an example of how it changes the tune. All right, so here, if I move it, tune gets, there we go. Okay, so playing with a capo also helps with your voice. I find that when I play, there are certain songs that I need to change the key, and I'm not teaching music theory, all right, but if I have to change it, make it higher, that I need to move the capo up to sing at the level that I want to sing. So again, this video combined with some pictures in Google Classroom will help you to learn about your guitar. You should try to keep it in a place where the temperature is pretty stable, meaning that it doesn't go crazy, it doesn't get frozen, and it doesn't get overheated. Because what happens with wood, because guitars are made out of wood, all right, they warp. All right, and what will happen is the actual neck on the guitar will move in one direction or another. All right, and the body could start to separate on the guitar. So you try to be very careful with keeping it in a place that's moderately temperature. I mean, I don't want it frozen at 32 degrees, and I don't want it cooked at 100. So someplace in the middle, maybe in the 70s, would be wonderful. And the guitar is so much fun to play, so easy. And I'll do another video playing Happy Birthday for you, even if it's not your birthday, just to show you 3 basic chords.